guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Mindy. Today I'm going to be taking you guys along as I do a pantry clean out and kind of show you how I organize my pantry and maybe give you some ideas for how you can organize your pantry, make it easier to find things, and just make it more convenient to put meals together quickly for yourself and your family throughout the week. So stay tuned. All right, you guys, it is January 1st, and no, it's not, it's February 1st. It's February 1st, so I'm just a little bit behind where this video is concerned. I know January is a huge clean up, clean out, declutter type month. Everybody kind of wants to purge their homes and their households and reorganize after the holiday season. So I meant to get this video up a little bit sooner and some other organization videos, but you know, it is what it is. Living that mom life, that family life, so we're gonna get to it now. My pantry needs a little bit of attention, so I thought that I would go ahead and clean it out. I will show you what it looks like, and then I will take everything out of it and clean it up, reorganize it, and maybe share with you just a few things that we do to organize our pantry that makes it easier for us to create breakfast, to make dinners, to pack lunches throughout the week. All right, you guys, fair warning. I have done no cleanup of this pantry before filming this. I didn't come in and like clean it out beforehand, so this is just what it looks like. I do try to make sure I kind of, you know, just keep it sort of organized. Every time I do a grocery haul, I kind of make sure that packages are put away and that empty packages are thrown away and stuff like that. But here's what it looks like. So I've got some stuff down here on the bottom I probably need to take care of. This is like where we keep cereal and open packages of bread and chips, snacky-like things here on this shelf. Lots of canned goods up here. And then all of this is mostly like baking stuff. Okay, so everything that is in this bucket is predominantly coffee and tea, so I'm gonna put that back in there and go ahead and put that back so it's out of the way. I also did find a couple of packages of artificial sweeteners in that bucket that I'm going to put elsewhere, and actually I think this one I'm going to toss because I have had it for a long time, like years. And I'm just not using it. I also found in that bin some cold brew K-cups that I have seriously had for, I think, 4 years. I think these may have made the move with us, and we've been in this house for 2.5 years. So those are gonna go in the trash. They're sugary, so I think that's why I never used them. And then I am so sad to see that I have to throw something away that's as expensive as this. This is almond flour. I don't use it, you guys. It is an open package. It has been open for a long time. The date, the Best By date is January 22nd of 2019. That was 2 years ago. So, I mean, I hate wasting things, but sometimes it's just taking up space on my shelf, and I've held on to this for like 2 years thinking I'm gonna use it again. It's not gonna happen. And speaking of artificial sweeteners, I have discovered quite a lot of stevia sweetened chocolate chips. These are from my WW days. I don't do WW really anymore. I don't track that way. I do still use these, but it's gonna take me a long time to go through these. I have the Lily's pumpkin spice flavor. I actually have 2 of those, an open package and an unopened package, because they were a limited time thing. And I also have the butterscotch flavor ones, the knockoff Lily's brand that I get at Walmart, the Bake Believe white chocolate chips. So we're definitely set on those for a long time. It'll take me a long time to go through those because I seriously use like maybe a tablespoon in my oatmeal occasionally. I think these are graham cracker crumbs from I don't know when. So I'm so frugal that I save these thinking I would use them again. They've obviously been forgotten, so that's probably like 25 cents worth of graham cracker crumbs. I'm just gonna toss those. Okay, I have my baking items kind of reorganized here. I'm setting the cornstarch aside because I'm gonna put it someplace else since I use it quite frequently in other recipes, but let's talk about containers for a second. I did not buy any new containers for this challenge. I'm just using ones that I already know I have on hand. I have fallen into that trap before of going to Dollar Tree or to Walmart or wherever and just buying a bunch of really pretty looking bins, and then I end up with more than I need, or I just have an excuse to fill them full of more stuff. I have found over the last year or so, as I've done reorganization, that I already have enough containers typically, especially if I'm repurposing. For instance, I save my jars. This was a jar I think that pasta sauce came in. And whenever I have an open package of chocolate chips, I always keep it in a jar like this. This one I actually don't keep in my pantry. I keep it where I keep the salt and pepper and things that I will use daily in cooking, because these are Lily's chips that I sometimes use in my oatmeal. So I keep those a separate place. But even if I had an open jar of chocolate chips I was storing, I would put them in the jar and then stick them in the bucket like this, so that I can see that I already have an open package in this clear jar. Also, I was using this canvas bin on my baking shelf, and I realized that I couldn't see what's in it. So I hunted around and I did find another bin that was lower height like this one was, that I already had in, so that I can actually see a little bit better what I have. Maybe that will help me remember that I already have Lily's chips and not to buy any more. So I went ahead and switched containers where that was concerned. I know everybody likes to store their dry goods like flour, sugar, brown sugar, powdered sugar differently, but I just wanted to let you guys know, and this is just a matter of opinion, these containers that are really popular with like the pop-up lids, the OXO containers, I do not like them, okay? But so many of these, and you'll see a few more of them as I clean out my pantry because I have some that I keep snacks in, they get cracked on the bottom and then stuff leaks out of them. So I don't know if it's because I have hard countertops now, or like I said, if I bang them around too much, but I find that eventually they crack. I actually prefer just this style, just the like Rubbermaid plastic ones if I'm gonna be storing dry goods. Although I will say that I really like this brown sugar container that I got. If I can find it on Amazon, I will. But it has this little ring right here, and you soak the ring in water, and then you put it in here, and it helps your brown sugar keep from drying out. So I do like this one, and I haven't had any problems with it breaking. But the OXO containers, I don't care for them. I'm actually gonna start with this shelf here, which is canned goods and rice and pasta. So I'm going to take everything out. I'm going to condense any maybe like similar open packages, reorganize it, kind of see what I can do with this to make it easier to see everything. I just found 5 pounds of sugar on that shelf. So, or it's 4 pounds, I think. Yeah, 4 pounds of sugar. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put that into my sugar container. If you were wondering why some of my sugar is brown, it's because it was organic sugar, so it's like unbleached or whatever. This is just regular sugar, so that's why it looks a little bit different. But I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off of that shelf that I was cleaning out and put it where it goes. Woohoo! One sad, lonely little cheese ball on my shelf. I don't know where in the world that came from. Okay, so I have already put my canned goods back in the pantry. I just like to keep those grouped by like items whenever possible. Sometimes I get a little sloppy about that, especially when I'm trying to put groceries away after a big grocery haul, and I'll just put stuff in there where it fits. But it helps me immensely if like all the tomato products are together, all the beans are together, the vegetables, you know, kind of some miscellaneous items. If I have any canned soups or something like that, it just helps me know exactly where to go whenever I need those items for my recipe. Before I put these things back in, I just wanted to chat with you a little bit about how I make things visible for myself in my pantry. And visibility is a huge theme that you will hear me talk about when the organization of my pantry comes. I want to be able to see things that I use frequently, and I want to be able to see things that need to be used up. So in these 2 bins that I keep on that canned goods and non-perishable shelf are open packages of things like spaghetti noodles or different kinds of pasta. There's some grits in here. There's some beans and rice in here, just open packages of things. I have unopened packages of those things as well, but I will put these unopened packages behind these bins so that I have to bypass these bins to get to these, which reminds me of things that I already have open. So that doesn't mean that I can't use these. Maybe there's a recipe that specifically calls for egg noodles. But if I'm looking for pasta for a recipe and I see an open box here as opposed to an unopened box here, it might remind me, oh, maybe I should use this in that recipe instead of that. And it just helps me use things up. Moving on to the snacks shelf here, which is looking a bit of a mess. Okay, so again, visibility is the name of the game, and I have several bins that I keep on sort of the snacky type shelf that I think help us stay organized. So I always have a bin that has like fruit cups, applesauce, raisins, if we ever have, you know, pears or mandarin oranges. The kids eat these a lot for snacks or take them in lunches. And I have a bin for open packages of things. So like Dad's birthday Oreos or these Wassa crackers, any graham crackers that I don't have in our little graham cracker tin here that I keep. Unopened packages go behind this bin so that we know we need to go through this bin before we get into the unopened packages. We need to finish some things up. I also have a bin that I would typically keep any pre-packaged snacks in, like granola bars or pre-portioned packages of crackers. And I occasionally will have some of that stuff on hand, but I don't have any right now. I don't buy a ton of it because ounce for ounce and pound for pound, it's just more expensive than if you were buying it in a big package like pretzels and just dumping them into a big bin so the kids can get them as they need to. I realize though that sometimes it's just convenient to have a pre-packaged snack or a granola bar or a protein bar or something you can grab and go. So I do have those occasionally, and I have another bin for those that goes on that shelf. And just because I seem to have a lot of it at any given time because my husband eats it every day, I went ahead and put all of our instant oatmeal packets into a bin as well so that my husband can see them, because sometimes he does not realize that I have put those in the door in the little shoe holder organizer, and he'll open up a new box. So I went ahead and just dumped them all in here, and there's like a rogue box of cream of wheat. I don't know why I bought that, but I guess I need to try it. So that he can see those, and I'll put them in a very prominent place so he knows where they are and he can just get them when he's making his breakfast in the morning. By the way, these bins came from Dollar Tree. I have not bought any new ones in a few years. They tend to have this size bin all year long, but I'm just using some that I already had on hand. I haven't had to buy any new ones in a while. I am not a prepper. I am not a big food storage person, like emergency food storage person, but I will admit that over the last year, I've been spooked just a few times and thought maybe I should just pick up a couple of extra items. But I picked up just a big 2-pound package of pasta, some beans, a couple packages of rice, some canned tomato sauce, and a big jar of peanut butter. I will definitely use them. You know, I'll make sure that they get rotated through, but I was just trying to think of, you know, what are some things that I can have on hand where if for some reason I couldn't get to the grocery store for a few days, even if we were out of produce, milk, eggs, meat, like I could still feed my family that would keep for a long time. So that's what these items were for, and I kind of found them in the back of the pantry, and I thought I'll just put them in a separate container so that I'll know to use them and kind of rotate them, and then if I want to keep doing that I can, or you know, I'll just use those items and be done with that. The last shelf I am clearing off is the bottom shelf, not the floor, but the first shelf above the floor in our pantry, where I keep like cereal, bread, peanut butter, stuff like that, mostly breakfast items, and then a bread basket. And I do find that it helps using up the cereal if I put it in these clear cereal containers. I got these at Walmart. I think you can order them online. I mean, they make them in various sizes. The small ones hold at least an entire 12-ounce box of cereal. I do get the big ones as well. Like in here, I have some peanut butter chocolate Cheerios, but I mix them with the regular Cheerios so that the kids don't get just the sugar cereal. They're getting the regular cereal too. But I do find that them seeing this helps them realize, oh yeah, we've got cereal to eat, so that they can make themselves some breakfast in the morning. And again, unopened boxes go behind these so that they have to go past these first and have their memory jogged. Oh yeah, we already have a box of that open. I have also found it to be very helpful to put sticky things like pancake syrup, honey, peanut butter into a separate bin like this that sits on the shelf, because then if they spill or they get sticky, and I don't care how well I clean these up or how well I teach my kids to make a waffle, it seems like it's always dripping down the side of the container, and then it gets on my shelf and it's harder to clean. Whereas this, I can just, you know, take the stuff out and rinse it out in the sink. It's much easier to clean than my shelf, having to take everything off of it. So stuff like that goes in a bin like this, right next to the bread basket. And this is just a little basket where I keep open packages of any bread items, bread, rolls, tortillas, open packages of chips, maybe a few unopened packages of chips if I have room. But again, open items. And when they're making peanut butter sandwiches or peanut butter tortilla roll-ups, it's all right there for them. All right, you guys, now all I have to do is just tidy up underneath my pantry shelves and we'll be good to go. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that gives you some ideas. I know not everybody has a pantry. I actually did not have a pantry until this house that we're living in, which is our 4th house. And I was so ecstatic to have an actual pantry, like a walk-in pantry. So I've been there before. for whenever you have to use like cabinets or you have a shelf in the garage or something like that. But maybe some of the tips that I gave can help you regardless of what your pantry situation is. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll be sure to check in again with another video very soon. Bye.